Hello Recruit, and welcome to a quick update on Astroneer Academy. It has been quite some time since our last course, and some of you may be thinking that the series has ended. I want to assure you that is not the case and talk about what is taking so long. Before I get to that, however, I want to take a brief trip down memory lane and say thank you to someone who helped bring Astroneer Academy into existence. If you are at all involved in the community of Astroneers, then you will have, at some point, encountered Ginapedia. Years ago, Gina and I were hanging out together in an instance of the training simulation, and I began to lament the lack of a single, comprehensive repository of information to help us all in our adventures. The official Astroneer Wiki was and is great to turn to for specific information and power requirements and recipes, and there were a handful of guides and tutorials that other Astroneers had produced, but nothing existed that combined that wealth of knowledge in one place. Gina encouraged me to take on such a project, and after giving it some thought, I decided I would give it a try. I only had one condition. I needed her help. I began weeks of pitching different ideas for how to format the series, and she patiently listened to each one, offering keen insight and helpful advice all along the way. When I finally landed on our current format and began writing the script for each course, Gina graciously served as a proofreader and fact checker, bringing a level of polish that I could not have achieved on my own. She even suggested a long list of people that I should reach out to learn from, and those collaborations led to pro tips and even entire courses in the series. And all throughout, her kindness and friendship kept me inspired to work hard to expand my own skill set to make Astroneer Academy the best it could be. In short, if it were not for Ginapedia, Astroneer Academy simply would not exist. I owe her a debt of gratitude that I will never be able to repay. That is why an announcement this week brought both sadness and joy. It would seem Exodynamics has found a way for Gina to be rescued from within the training simulation so that she could continue her journey elsewhere. While I am very sad that those of us in the community surrounding the Astroneer training program will no longer have her as our community manager, I am very excited to see a dear friend get to encounter a brand new adventure. If you have enjoyed Astroneer Academy or ever learned anything from it, then please drop down to the comments and share a note of thanks and encouragement for Ginapedia as she embarks on her next chapter. Now, on to what I mentioned during our introduction today. I know many of you are wondering what is taking so long for our courses to resume. Creating the Astroneer Academy is very challenging. I've spoken about it before, but each course requires a huge amount of time to create. Each script takes at least a dozen hours to write, and many more hours to fact check and proofread and cross-reference against all the other courses. Many courses are scrapped entirely because I did not feel the first or second or even third draft lived up to the expectation of quality that I set for the series. I cannot count the number of times I have completely started over on any given course. Once a course is written, a team of volunteers reads through it to suggest revisions and offer some fact-checking. After that, I add my own final revisions and then move on to recording the voiceover. You'd think that wouldn't take long, but it does. I do several takes on each script, trying to find the proper intonation for the subject matter and, to be honest, correcting the numerous errors I make while recording the voiceover. I usually wind up with a recording that is easily triple what will become the final runtime. That means I then get to go back in and edit the voiceover to achieve the final version. Then comes the most time-consuming portion, recording footage. For every scene you see in an Astroneer Academy video, you can be sure I probably have 10 times more footage. I try to record different scenes in several different ways to be sure I have something that will work when I edit it all together into a video. Of course, I also have to set up each scene with all the required objects or resources, I have to adjust for lighting, and more. If an Astroneer Academy course is 20 minutes long, I probably wind up with 3 to 4 hours of footage. The easiest part is taking all of that footage and editing it together to fit the voiceover. While this is fairly straightforward, it is also very time consuming. The average Astroneer Academy video has around 100 different edits in it, plus I often have to learn how to implement various editing effects to achieve the results I have in mind. So the long story short is that each and every course requires dozens of hours to create. That process has been slowed lately due to a couple of reasons. One of the biggest hurdles to overcome in this process is writer's block. I'll sit down to write a course and nothing happens. The words just don't come. There really isn't an easy solution for this. Sometimes I can just start writing down rough ideas and work through the writer's block. But sometimes I just have to set the project aside for a few days to clear my head and then try again. The bigger hurdle is one I won't go into too much detail about, and I hope you'll respect my desire for privacy here, but I often struggle with anxiety and depression. Those two personal struggles can often completely eliminate my ability to produce anything creative. Various events over the past year have brought this struggle to the forefront far more often than I care to admit, and they cause big delays each and every time. So yeah, Astroneer Academy takes a lot of time to create, and I have my own set of obstacles that I have to overcome to even begin the creative process. That does not mean I have shelved this project though. I still put in work on it each and every week, and our 300 level courses are about 50% written. I will not rush the creative process just to meet an arbitrary deadline, sacrificing quality along the way. I know the delay is disappointing for some of you, but I hope that you can be patient with me as I work to bring you the content that lives up to the high standard of quality I have set for Astroneer Academy. I feel I owe that to each and every one of you. To wrap it up, Astroneer Academy still has a lot of information and entertainment to come, and I am working as quickly as I can to get it all completed. While we all wait for that to happen, don't forget to head down to the comments below to offer our appreciation to Ginapedia, because without her, Astroneer Academy would have never existed. Until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to keep looking to the stars.